Sometimes dad is better.
This is the Horrible Film School. Take a seat and slowly peel open your trapper keepers. I am Chris, and I'm here with Professor Hootie.
What's up, fellas? I've been jamming to the Ramones this past couple weeks.
Oh, I wonder why. I'm sure we'll dissect that tidbit there.
I wanna be hesitated. Is that
I want to be sedated.
Oh, that's hesitated.
All right. You're both fucking idiots. We're also joined by your nosy neighbor, Professor Joey, a.k.a. Dr. Nasty.
What up, boys? Rise and grind. Freshly returned from Quebec City, Canada.
We're all changed men here. Other
Dude,
than
I
Hootie.
feel so
Hootie's still
cultured
Hootie.
now, man. I've had a slice of the, of the other side.
Yeah, a lot of
I want
poontang, you
more,
said, right?
dude. So much poontang.
Poutine.
But yeah, before we start,
I thought it was
wanted to,
poontang. Hold on.
No, it's
You're talking about
poutine.
Pootie-tang, the
You
Chris
told me
Rock.
you was up there eating poontang the whole time. I've been confused.
Yeah,
I've
that
been
was
telling
my little,
people
it's like a
you're
little
eating
inside
poontang.
joke between me and the the natives of Quebec City. It's something we just say back to you,
Natives.
like Americans. shit.
Oh, you got like handshakes and
Like,
stuff
those
with them now?
USA citizens. But yeah, before we go any further, I wanted to congratulate the best dad I know, my brother, on the birth of his second son.
Thank you.
The seed is strong.
I have an heir and a spare, as they say in
Oh,
Game of Thrones. So thank you. Halloween, of course. Of course, he was born on Halloween.
And because of that, we had to skip a week in our regular programming.
Yes, you can blame your week of us not inventing your eardrums on me. Sorry about that. Joey was in Canada, so he's also to blame there.
Oh, Canada, where the
I think he's
Canadians,
defecting.
Canada.
I think he's about to defect. We're about to lose him for good.
I've just been playing Tim the Toolman Taylor at my house, so we all.
Don't tell me the pipes. We still in the pipes?
Water heaters, toilets,
Dude,
crawl
it's been
space.
pipes for like 2 months with you.
It's been a lot. It's been quite the little ride here.
It's like we all got some shit going on from the sounds of it. Well, I hate to bring everyone down, but with that downer, first bit of news I have is a bit of a downer. Mr. Tony Todd has passed away at the age of 69. R.I.P. Candyman.
I did see this piece, and I was quite frankly shocked because this dude is on the horror circuit hardcore.
Yeah, he looked like he was still pretty fit. In that recent Candyman, he had that cameo. He looked pretty good. Could have been CG'd up, though, for all I know.
It hasn't been long that he was off the convention. I swear I saw like a poster or some shit with his face on it saying he was going to be somewhere in terms of like...
Well, like he was scheduled to be somewhere soon.
Yeah.
Either way, lost a legend there. The Candyman.
May we all remember Johnny Valentine.
Johnny V, the original. That's way too inside baseball there, Hootie.
What was that fucking quote from the movie? I'm the fucking Candyman. What was it? I'm the Candyman, bitch. What was it? Go back and rewatch that movie.
Yeah, Candyman
Really
was
enjoyed
great.
it. R.I.P. Tony.
Also, I know Joy's going to appreciate this. Finn Wolfhard and Jason Reitman are remaking the 1990s horror comedy Idle Hands,
Let's go.
with Wolfhard co-writing and possibly co-directing. This is the one of the Stranger Things kids.
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard's like the one that's like super pale, that big ass nose.
He's the noticeable one, I guess. He's the first one I think of when I imagine the group.
The one from Ghostbusters?
Yeah, shaggy haired kid. I guess he's like an adult now. Keep calling him a kid.
Nobody asked for that. You know?
Yeah, I was a little miffed about it, but I thought it was worth reporting. Relevant to us growing
What
up
are
in
you,
the
a
90s.
fucking Devon Sawa stan? Are you just like... You dead
What
set
can
on
you do,
fucking
though,
Devon
differently?
Sawa being the only idle hands like guy?
It's not like a real, like, bloody, gory horror movie. Like, what else could you do with it, honestly?
I do
Just
remember
new
Jessica
jokes.
Alba being very, very, very attractive in that movie.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
The angel wings. And she dressed up as an angel for Halloween.
Hopefully she
night.
reprises her role as like a cougar or something, you know?
You know, our hands weren't idle when we were watching that.
Oh, mine weren't.
Hey.
And we're back.
And now we're back. Totally normal. Also, last one I want to throw out here. In the upcoming Predator Badlands, we have learned that the Predator character will be the film's main protagonist.
If you don't stop talking about this damn movie, Chris.
This thing is getting hyped out the ass. He's going to be the main character, bro. We're going to follow the Predator around.
This is gonna be a in the nature of violence sort of situation.
I would
What
say
was-
it's like a
What
T2
was the name of that
situation.
movie that we
Like
liked?
he's helping a
Can't remember the
kid.
name of
He's
it.
gonna be a good guy.
I think it's gonna be a T2 situation, dog.
Oh, he's gonna be a leather daddy.
He's gonna have a shotgun, exactly, leather
Who's
jacket.
the
It's gonna
Edward
be awesome.
Furlong in this situation?
Who we casting as the modern Edward Furlong?
Cast Edward Furlong.
Yeah, Edward would
He's
probably
not
do
doing
it.
much. He fucking Quiznos is shut down, so he lost his fucking managerial position. He should.
It's gotta be a
He
child.
should have some fucking free time on his hands.
I don't know who's hot and under like 25 right now. Who's the hot new actor?
Timothy Chalamet.
You say Timothy Chalamet for every fucking thing, Hootie.
Well, he's getting all the fucking roles, so might as well just go ahead and say his name.
He's probably closer to 30 than we realize. He just
He
looks
looks
like he's
like
17.
Looks like a child.
Fair enough. With that being said, I'm handing the reins off to you, Mr. Hootie, for your selection for today's assignment, which was 1989's Pet Sematary. The lesson, there's only one lesson you could take out of a movie
of
like
course.
this.
Don't say
So
it.
get your Trapper Keeper out. There's only one thing you need to write down. Here's the best tagline I could find. Don't forget to put out the cat before the cat puts you out.
Well,
This fucking cat was so vicious. I love this cat.
I thought that was a terrible tagline, so I just had to share that.
that was the tagline for real?
That was one of the alternate
No,
taglines.
it wasn't the tagline.
Oh,
the tagline
jeez.
is like the most quotable part of the movie. Don't say it because I want to use it as
Don't
an opening
say
quote.
it.
It's gonna fucking
Spoiler
roll off your
alert.
quote.
Spoiler alert for Pet Sematary from 1989.
Well, this was my pick for the week. A movie that I remembered fondly but hadn't watched in years. And apparently, unbeknownst to me, is kind of a Thanksgiving movie, guys. So technically, it's festive.
Yeah, it's kind of getting everybody around the dinner table type of situation. I can see that.
Well, all the
Bring your
shit starts-
scalpel, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, you
The
carve
family-
up a fucking old man's neck and fucking gorge yourself on
He
it.
did have a bit of a turkey goblet situation going on there.
Well, if you
Anyway.
think about it, the family leaves for a Thanksgiving trip, and that's when everything goes to hell. So
There was a Thanksgiving note in there.
there you go. All right. Well, let's see what the fans thought about 1989's Pet Sematary from IMDb. First up, we're going to be in the negative to get these jackasses out of the way. This comes from Sirius Sixit from October 2007, titled, "This is a copy from the Italian movie Zeter." Take notice.
Of course it is.
Pet Sematary, though a nice 80s horror movie with a nice director and atmosphere, is a copy of the Italian movie Zeter by Pupi Avati. Not Pupi's
Ain't
probably
no
not his name.
fucking way
Poopy,
that dude's name
okay.
is Poopy.
Okay.
You didn't
I
even
think this is
try
a
right
trolly
there.
ass IMDb review.
Pupi.
These are all made up words.
It's clear that Stephen King has copied almost all the ideas from this director. The cat, the ground, everything was copied. This is a case of plagiarism, but being Stephen King is a famous American writer, it's totally normal that he can get away with this, and it's obviously due to the huge difference between the kind of Italian movies with no budget, and in part it's the crap itself, but the original idea, I repeat it, it is an Italian remake.
Is this true? Did we investigate this?
So,
What's
let
the,
the
what,
world-
what do I have to Google? Like, what's the guy's name? Poopy Baguette? Or some
okay,
shit?
hold
When
on.
did
Say
Poopy make
fucking
his
name?
movie?
This person, Sirius 6, it says this is a 2 out of 10, which is a pretty horrific score.
Shit on it.
Zeter is available on YouTube, and I watched it by kind of skimming through it.
Holy shit! You went above and beyond.
You
Well,
watched an
because-
Italian movie on YouTube? Okay.
Well, you know, how American.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
See, that's progress. This guy kind of pissed me off, so I skimmed through it, and it is like if you said somebody ripped off Predator because Terminator was already made. Is there like some weird figure in it? Sure. Does a guy bury his wife in the ground and she comes back to life? Sure. But to say it's a carbon copy is pulling, man.
Stretching it. What year did the Italian film come out?
83 or 84. I can't remember the
What
exact
year did
date.
the Pet Sematary book come out? Because it was predates the movie.
84. It was 84, right? 83.
There's no way
84.
he wrote that book that quickly if it came out.
Well, no,
the same
he had the
year as another
manuscript
movie.
around for like a long time and didn't,
That's what I'm saying,
he didn't
yeah.
publish it.
Come on. If anything, this person might have got a copy of his manuscript and made the damn movie in Italian.
So are we
flip
under
that
the
coin.
assumption that Poopy Rigatoni or whatever the fuck his name is?
Poopy Rigatoni, my favorite
Rest
flavor.
his soul.
This is this actually Poopy Rigatoni's like grandson or something?
It's possibly.
This could be Poopy himself. What year was this written?
2007.
2007. Damn, that's a hell of a headspace to be in. They'd never seen The Dark Knight.
Hell of a head space.
which is a ripoff of the fucking movie Heat, bro.
Poopy Gorgonzola got done dirty is what we're saying in the situation.
Throwing shade in 2007.
Wow. I'm gonna change my fucking score now. I'm dropping a letter grade.
Here we go.
It's the poopy scale.
Next up, from somebody who actually enjoyed the film, by name of A.B. Thomas, from 2011, titled "It Was Actually All Right." I originally saw this in my mid-teens and made a mental note to myself that it wasn't that good, which in turn made me forget it. I read the book for the first time 2 weeks back and loved it! ! So I thought I'd give the movie a try again to see how it fared. I am 36 now and thought it was actually pretty good. Still quite spooky for its age, and stayed pretty close to the book, too. I actually thought the scary characters in the film were more scary than they were in the book. One of the King's better film adaptations. Definitely worth a watch for horror fans. 7.5 out of 10.
Chris, you're the resident linguist. Is that somebody who reads books?
No, this is a person who's good with words, but go ahead.
You're the resident book person. I know you've read
Bibliophile is what you would say.
You're bibliophile. Would
Biblio,
you say
yeah, sure,
the book is
big for
scarier than the movie, or the movie scarier than the book?
I actually have not read Pet Sematary, but I do know it is held in like his top 5. And this is a man who has his books, with 60 books so far, plus like 200 short stories. I will say I do read his work. I read a lot of his books, and generally, his writing is a little bit more frightening, I think, than the movies. The Shining is a great book. It, minus a couple of scenes, is a fantastic book.
Oh,
wait, what scenes?
One of those are.
I'm
Yeah,
not
go
gonna
ahead.
get into that.
Expand upon it.
Hold on now.
It's something
I feel like
not made
these
for TV
scenes
movie
that
quality
you're
stuff.
omitting are probably very important for the overall plot.
I'll let Wikipedia handle that, buddy. I'm going to bow out on that. But yeah, he's a great writer to this day. I still read things he puts out in the 21st century.
We would just say that somebody is always game to run a train. Got hurt.
Okay. All right.
Is it true that the man cannot end a story?
He struggles, which I read his book. He wrote a book in like around 2000 called On Writing, which kind of outlined his writing process and how he does all the stories and stuff. And the way he does it essentially is he figures the story out as he's writing it. So he doesn't plan out the entire thing before he begins.
Well, that does explain a lot.
Yeah, it kind of explains like getting yourself tied into a knot in the last 100 pages of your book. So he just has great ideas, man. No one has those kind of concepts.
Well, he's ripping off Pepe Spaghetti in Italy.
I didn't know he had an Italian Netflix account. That's where all his ideas come from.
Mamma mia, Stephen King is a fucking hacker.
Stephen King's a legend. Fuck this guy. Fuck you, Pepe, whatever your name was.
Poopy.
I think we're shitting on the Italian man who had nothing to do with the review that was written, but okay.
He did nothing wrong in his life.
He just tried to make a movie.
All right, let's step behind the scenes here for the writer-director. This film was directed by Mary Lampert, and I would say this is one of the few films that's directed by a woman that we've covered for horror.
I was actually shocked to discover a lady directed this. Usually it's a very male-dominated position, especially in the
Was
late
it
80s,
really
early
that
90s.
shocking, Chris?
I think so. You didn't?
The male character in this movie makes every wrong decision he can, and it's
Stephen
just
King
battering-
wrote this screenplay,
battering
partner.
this man the entire movie.
He wrote the
Surprising,
screenplay.
surprising.
You blame Stephen for that.
Yeah, he's a misogynist. Wait, what's the one that hates men?
Feminist?
Yeah, Stephen King's
No,
a fucking.
they don't hate
feminist.
women. Hold on. We're speaking out of turn here. A feminist supports women's rights.
Mhm.
If that makes you hate men indirectly, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
It's too close
Disgusting.
selection, boys. We got to move on.
It's too close. Too hot right now.
So Mary Lambert was actually big in the music scene and recorded countless music videos for Madonna. The note I have here is she recorded the music video for Like a Prayer, classic.
My favorite.
Like
Also,
a
I knew it.
virgin,
That's a different
touch
song.
for
but
the
alright.
very first time.
Also a
yeah,
good song.
she directed that too.
Fantastic. Material Girl, she directed that as well.
She also came back for the sequel, Pet Sematary 2. Who can forget that? And also
Dude, I
Halloween
fucking love
Town
that
2.
movie.
I've actually never seen it.
Gus in that movie,
Bro,
is
we watched the
literally-
hell out of Pet Sematary
Gus
2.
from that movie is just as memorable as Judd is in this movie. Maybe even more so, in my
Close in
opinion.
the name there.
It might just be a product of our
Speaking of
raising,
Edward
man.
Furlong, I mean, he's
Edward
in that movie
Furlong
too,
rocks
yeah.
that one. This is the same year as T2 right there. Before he got furlonged.
Other films of note is Halloween Town 2, Calibur's Revenge, and Megapython versus Gatoroid. Classic.
Gatorade.
That sounds like a porno.
Well,
Dude, don't
here we
forget
go. to
Urban
spend-
Legends Bloody Mary. I mean, the
Oh, well,
fucking
Jesus
sequel to
Christ.
the Urban Legends.
Is that part of the Urban Legends franchise?
I think it might
that
be
Jared
just two
Leto
movies.
spawned?
I don't think it's more than two.
Just a lame ass title from one movie.
Bloody Mary.
This-
I want to list like some of the other people she directed videos for. 'Cause it's like a big deal.
Pretty comprehensive list.
Oh yeah, Rod Stewart, Janet Jackson, Sting,
Damn.
Bobby Brown, Motley Crue, Dolly Parton, and Lionel Richie, to name a few.
She knows her way around the camera.
I think it was Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling, which is a pretty good jam.
Yeah, I love that one. Dancing on the ceiling, I'm
I
dancing.
want to get back to Like a Prayer, man. I want to hear that shit again.
He knows. Miss Lambert was the first female director of a Sci-Fi Channel original movie with 2011's Megapython versus Gatoroid. Yeah.
Did she write that one?
What a
Hey,
fucking what a
didn't
fucking
find
feather in your hat, huh?
Imagine going to set every day and like that's the clapboard you have to look at. What have I become?
Mega Python versus Gatoroid. Take 47.
Take Infinity, fucking kill me. She's holding a whiskey bottle and a shotgun, not even a clapping board.
Another note on her like IMDb page was just straight out good friends with Madonna. So there you go.
I did see that pretty much through her work in the music industry, she was friends with the Ramones, which led to a collaboration I'm sure we're going to highlight down the road. So she had a lot of friends in the industry, man.
Them not wanting to be buried in Pet Cemetery is what you're talking about?
They don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
Next up is the writer, and you know him, you love him, Stephen King.
King of horror.
The Lord of Gore.
Hard to. This is another, like we're going back to back with Hitchcock here. A few things you could say about Stephen King. That,
Well, didn't we
the
go
rest of the
like
world hasn't
big
done.
dick on when we covered The Mist when it comes to Steve?
Yes, we got to bring up 1922 and The Mist, Thomas Jane in another episode.
Well,
you guys are
my
welcome.
God, with these Thomas
Here's the
Jane
thing: we're going to
fucking
talk about
shit.
Stephen King like multiple. We're going to talk about Stephen King more than any other like writer, guaranteed over the course of the podcast.
Yeah, I think especially in
Like
the American sense of the
like
horror
his
community,
adaptations. I have like a small list right here. Like it's crazy. No, he
he's-
wrote
He's
Secret Window.
Yeah. Did he write Secret Window? Are you fucking with me?
He wrote Secret Window.
No, he did not. You
He really
serious?
did. Yeah.
God damn it.
I got all these
Well-
other great fucking movies he's wrote, or like
That's
short
the only one we're gonna
stories
talk
that
about.
were adapted to like film. But yeah, I'm just staring at it, and Secret Window is just like literally screaming in my face right now.
Yeah, I only brought two facts because I figured this is hard to educate anybody on Stephen King, but just for the sake of trivia, if you get asked these questions down the road, he published 5 short novels, including The Running Man and Thinner, under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. If he may ever ask you who Richard Bachman is, there you go.
Wait a minute. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a Stephen King movie?
Yes, he would. Well, it wasn't a Stephen King movie.
God.
It was a Richard Bachman.
Well, here's the thing:
book
Tom
that it
Hanks was
based
in one
on.
too.
What Green Mile?
What, The Green Mile?
Yeah. Just saying, it's like big time actors, man. It's not just like run of the mill horror shit.
Shawshank Redemption. I mean, yeah, Stephen can do it all. He's a great writer. I don't care what anybody says about him. Also, fun fact, he was the director one time and only one time in 1986's Maximum Overdrive.
God, I love that movie.
How much did this fucking movie have to inspire that movie? Or this idea had to inspire that idea?
I have
The Trucks
never
Man?
seen- I've never seen that film.
That's fucking crazy. You've never
Dude,
seen that. That was
Emilio
like the
Estevez,
highlight
bro.
of me going to the horror con.
The
Like, I got
Goblin?
to fucking see the Goblin, bro.
What's
It's
Is
a
that-
giant,
is that
a
like
truck
it's
with
a
the big-ass
giant
green goblin on the
18-wheeler
front?
with
Yeah.
the fucking goblin's face, like Green Goblin.
yeah,
It looks
yeah,
sick.
I've seen that. I've seen a picture of that.
I remember watching that movie and being scared of lawnmowers for like
Oh,
months.
yeah. Chases that little kid. Yeah,
I think
remember
they
that.
even had a scene where a toaster killed somebody in that movie.
It's probably fucking terrible, but it is a very permanent memory from like 1992. It's probably the last time I saw it. It was fucking
What's
awesome.
better? Like, I know it's not fresh in your memory. Like, neither movie's gonna be fresh, but I kind of, in my mind, they're kind of the same movie. What's better, Maximum Overdrive or The Happening?
Maximum Overdrive.
Think so?
I think so.
I remember the
Oh,
happening being
Zoe-
almost unwatchable.
Zoe
I don't know if I'm gonna
Deschanel
laugh in The Happening, dog.
and The Happening kind of like did it for me, you know. But yeah, I'd probably agree. I don't know why those movies like parallel in my mind. You know?
That was a weird ass pull. I did not know
That
where you were
was.
going with that one.
Is it happening even a horror movie?
Oh, it's horror. Yeah.
Okay.
People
know
are
what the
literally
fuck you
killing
call it.
themselves in the movie.
It's a question mark of a movie.
I think it's horror.
That's Hootie's boy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's Hootie's boy.
Ah, man.
Mark Wahlberg running around
Really?
confused for 2 hours.
M Night. Yeah, it's
Really.
not even flipping a coin. Just rolling a fucking dice with that guy. You got a 1 in 6 chance.
Any more behind the scenes, folks, you guys want to bring up?
That was pretty much it for me.
I think I didn't really go in details into it, but Heather Langenkamp's husband. I don't know if they were married at the time, but I think they did like the special effects for the movie, and I feel like the special effects for this movie are super underrated.
Well, until they're not.
Yeah, it's just talking about one scene in particular.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
a
get
delicate
there.
scene, man. It's delicate. But yeah, I think the gore looks good. You talking about the gore specifically? It looks
Yeah,
good.
yeah, specifically.
Judd's scene was very effective to me when I was a kid. I'm just
Oh
like,
God, yeah. Ugh.
Maybe terrified of beds.
Mm.
All right, well, let's see what we have behind the scenes in regards to little tidbits. The role of Zelda, Rachel's terminally ill sister, was played by a man.
It's
Director
a
Mary.
man, baby.
Man, baby.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Einhorn is a man?
The director.
Punch
Remember
in his
the
face.
dolphin was like fucking spitting up, like the dolphin like sucked her dick or something. Like, what are we fucking inferring right here?
Like a Dan Marino, man.
The director wanted Zelda and her scenes to frighten the audience, but did not believe that a 13-year-old girl was scary, so she cast Andrew.
Hoobastank.
Hubatsek.
I wanted to say Hoobastank, yeah, in the role to make something be off about Zelda.
Zelda was terrifying. The most terrifying thing from my memory. Not so bad this time around, but
I had
originally it was
suppressed the
rough.
memory of Zelda.
We learned
From
You didn't
seeing
know
this
that
as a
the
kid.
character
I
was
had
in this?
suppressed it. And then they started talking about it and alluding to it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having fucking, like, I'm literally having
Yeah.
flashbacks of this shit in my mind.
It's the scary
as they're
lady in the
talking
dark
about it.
room.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's very effective to a kid for some reason.
It really is. And the name always stuck with me, of course. I'm the biggest Legend of Zelda fan I know, so that's kind of a name that sticks with me whenever I hear it. So I knew she was in here. Did not know it was played by a dude. But that was my only note for going through the casting. I found out Zelda was portrayed by Mr. Andrew. My only note was dude. Because he really had nothing else going on. I thought he would be like some kind of stunt performer, but no.
Yeah,
I think
not
he was
a
a
very
theater guy.
extensive IMDb. I think he had like 3 credits to his name.
Yeah.
He was very skinny. I think that played a big part in why he was cast. He was very good at contorting his body in
Yes,
very creepy ways.
that definitely was.
I mean, the character was already off-putting because, like, spinal meningitis is like a super scary illness, and then you're casting like a male to play this 13-year-old, and it's even more off-putting.
That adds that like weird uncanny valley aspect to it. So in your memory, what was so creepy about this character before you saw this actual
it's
rewatch?
like you see this person helpless in their bed being like spoon-fed.
It's the feeding
with
scene,
no
right? That's what got
fucking
me.
teeth.
Yeah.
The strange movements, the voice,
The spine.
Rachel. I mean, that's fucking scary. And as a kid, you don't understand. I mean, even as an adult, I don't fucking understand what spinal meningitis is. But it's like it's so foreign. It's such a foreign concept to me that it's just scary.
I don't want to say too much, but at the end when she sees Zelda again in that room and she like scurries over, that's also like very effective.
Fucking hell, bro.
They're really so bad.
You mean like
my
that
God.
figure over Joey's left shoulder right now?
Stop! Don't even play them fucking games, dog. I ain't even
What
got
would
my.
you do if
I
you
gotta
heard that
arm my
moaning
ADT
down your
right
hallway
now.
right now?
Let's see if they can. Let's see if the fucking audience can hear me arming my ADT.
Feed me some of that dirt cake I know you got in the
You done got me fucked up, dog.
What's
new at KFC,
Joey?
Joey, bring me that poontang.
Let's see. I don't think it came through, but I just armed
hell
my
is that?
fucking ADT. Ain't no way nobody's getting me.
She's already in there, bro.
Already inside the
You
house.
don't say that.
Look, all I gotta do is flex. Fucking put these fucking guns up.
Look at him. He's got his shirt off. Wish the audience could see this.
I could see all the poontang he had.
Oh, I just popped a fucking vein in my neck. Oh, God.
Rip to the gills.
Injured.
Speaking of being in shape, as an off tangent here, my brother, Elder Hootie, says that y'all's KFC in y'all's town is on point. That it's
Yeah, they're
ripping these
finally
days.
making a change, man. They're finally
They
like
figuring it out?
doing it for
Look
the
at
better.
this.
Oh shit! I got to venture over there. What'd they do differently?
It's back.
There's
baby.
actual chicken there now.
There's actual chicken. There's actual service.
Ooh.
You don't fucking have to sit there an hour for a piece of chicken anymore.
Don't call
They're
it.
Damn,
making
I
a
look into
concerted
that.
effort. What it is they heard the damn cookout was coming to town, so they're like, man, we're about to lose a lot of business.
Step that game up.
I don't think of those two competing against one another, but
I mean, as it just
Now you do.
really, they're within like I don't know, 100 feet of each other. Who the fuck would ever go to KFC if there was a cookout right next door?
it's true. I wouldn't. A couple of I don't know. Whenever you see these tidbits, I don't know how true they are, but I'm going to say them anyway. Bruce
yeah,
Campbell.
That's news, isn't that how news works now?
This is true. This is true. Who knows what the fuck's real? Bruce Campbell was the first choice for the role of Louis Creed.
That would
This
have
was
been a
hot
different
off
movie,
like
man.
Evil Dead 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Bruce is just tired of burying his other half at this point.
It's a good
He's
point.
done this shit for 2 movies in a row.
I think it would have been
Very-
cool to see him in the role, but I mean, coming off of Evil Dead 1 and 2, both of those movies have like part of what makes the character of Ash Williams so entertaining and fun to watch is he does have like great comedic timing, and I think
there's
part
no
of
room
that
for
is
that
Bruce.
in this character.
There's
That's good,
there's
yeah.
no room for that.
And if, like I said, if it is, it's a different movie. He would have changed the tone just with the chin alone.
However, I'll go ahead and put this out here. I think they could have cast anybody other than Dale Midkiff, and this movie would have been better. This
Hell.
dude is fucking drier than an 80-year-old's twat. He's
All
terrible.
right.
Well, I was there with you
Alrighty.
till the last part, but okay. 2 people turned this movie down, supposedly to direct. First up, Tom Savini turned it down. Secondly, George A. Romero, a hard daddy himself, was originally set to direct, but when filming was delayed, he dropped out and instead directed Monkey Shines in 1988.
Here's the thing. It's a little bit more extensive than that. The dude actually had bought the rights to adapt Pet Sematary back in like 84. So it was going to
For
be his baby.
$10,000.
Yeah.
So that one is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yep,
he,
he was on. I guess he signed on for it, but Monkey Shines was just too damn alluring.
Paramount eventually bought the rights. So we have what we have. You imagine, like, that's the thing though. Imagine like this movie done with under George Romero's tutelage.
A lot
Like,
more
with the whole
zombies.
zombie element and shit like that.
Yeah.
He might have
More
went over.
zombie.
Actually, no way. He might have went overboard with it if he was given the chance.
Again, it would have been a different movie because I feel like the zombification is secondary to what Dale's kind of going through in this movie.
And then again with like Tom Savini, like imagine like the special effects work that would have been done on the movie. It could have just it could have overshadowed the actual themes and stuff, you know.
I hate having to defend this stuff. I actually enjoy Tom Savini's recreation of Night of the Living Dead with Tony
I
Todd.
think you're the only one that's seen it amongst all 3 of us.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to pick it. It ain't that damn good. But, you know, if we ever get it Randall-willed.
Well, the thing is, you say you want to defend the guy, which is totally fine, but you look at the history of Mary Lampert's work, like post Pet Cemetery and pre Pet Cemetery. She didn't really have much going on, so it's like
Oh, speak for yourself, Halloween Town 2.
I think
This is Halloween.
I think
that's not
Savini would have done a
Christmas.
good job regardless. I mean, but she did do a great job with this movie, so not taking anything away from her.
And that's all I have, boys. What do y'all got?
I got 2 bits we didn't talk about here. This is kind of interesting. The first of its kind, as far as this is concerned, for a Stephen King adaptation. So when Stephen sold the rights for this one, he stipulated specifically that this movie had to be shot in Maine, which is where the
Jesus.
story was set.
This dude has such a fucking boner for Maine.
He's pulling his dick out and putting it on the screen right there. He's
It's
like,
like
"I'm gonna take my
he's made it
pork."
like the scariest
Boom.
state in the whole country.
He's trying to bring money to his state, dude. You can't blame him for that. It's pretty cool.
If there's one state I may never see in my life, it's Maine.
You think it's Maine?
You
I think mine would be
go to fucking Alabama before you go to
South
Maine.
Dakota.
You would go to
Maybe North
Mississippi
Dakota.
before you would go to Maine.
Which one has Mount Rushmore?
See, I feel like
It's
I'm
like north of-
eventually,
It's like Dakota, I think, right? Montana.
for some reason, going to drive through Mississippi or drive through Alabama. There's no reason for me to drive through Maine.
Yeah, you had to really like misplace something to go driving up there.
You would go to New Jersey before you would go to fucking
I've already been there.
Maine. New Jersey's a fucking trash heap.
Well, God
What
almighty
if
for
I
our
told
New Jersey
you-
listeners.
What if I told you that there was a pet cemetery in Maine where you could bury your Panthers jerseys and they would win the Super Bowl? Would you go?
No.
Yes, you would. Yeah.
No, no.
Yes, you would. Don't.
I would bury my recently deceased dog Sam in that grave, Chris. To bring the
Well,
show down.
Hootie, we're going to make it. Everyone just bring it all down.
Here we go. Just
You're
burn it
the
down.
one that picked the damn movie, Hootie.
We are back.
And last thing I had, the song "Pet Sematary" became one of the Ramones' biggest charting hits, despite
Ain't
being
no fucking way.
quote unquote reviled by most of the band's hardcore fans.
That song is trash.
It's duty, I agree. But Stephen King loved the Ramones. Mary Lambert got
I
him on
don't wanna
board,
be
and they got it.
in a
That's
pet
a hit, brother. It was like number 4
cemetery.
on the rock charts.
It's
when it
definitely an
came out.
earworm.
I heard it and I was like, this is obviously a parody of the Ramones, is what I was thinking as I
Yeah,
was
it's a
listening
fucking
to
it's
it.
a fucking earworm, and I would need to see a vet and get this shit taken care of.
I was like, oh
immediately.
no, dude. This was like the legit artist putting in the work. Okay. Yikes. Got anything, Joseph?
Yeah, I got a few little tidbits here. The tree in the opening scene of the movie, that young Ellie swings from was actually not initially in front of the house. They transplanted it from a field somewhere else in Maine, and replanted it in front of the house. Like this had to be
Deep dip to bury a fucking tree that
yeah,
big.
this tree in particular.
And it held upright?
It held upright. Held that little girl's
Damn.
well, not very well because her ass hit the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Blame it on the construction.
Also, Miko Hughes was less than 36 months old during the production of Pet Sematary. How
Banana,
crazy
dude.
is that?
Yeah, that's
Pretty wild.
nuts.
Couldn't they? I mean, I don't know where the technology was at, but like in The Conjuring, that tree is fake. I feel like it would be cheaper to make a fake tree than to replant a real tree.
Hootie, I thought we liked practical effects here, man.
Oh no, you
How
get a
do you dig up a
backhoe. You can probably
fucking
do
tree?
that shit for $200 at Lowe's.
Well, you could have saved money and got a better leading actor, but you know,
Oof.
I digress.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Um,
Speaking of money, you got the box office in front of you, Joy?
no, I don't. You can go ahead and
Just to highlight it, it was a $57.5 million movie against an $11.5 million budget.
really.
Big success for Mr. King. Dude's been rolling in bank since Carrie, so.
Yeah, this was actually his first film screenplay that he readapted from his novels too. So, pretty impressive for a first adapted screenplay that he actually wrote himself.
He knows the story back and forth.
Does he,
Yeah.
or does the guy in Italy know, Chris?
Oh, shit. Poopy. Mr. Poopy Butthole. What was his name again?
Poopy of Artie, okay?
Poopy
Show
of
some respect.
Fartsy. Poopy of Farty.
Also, the movie required the use of between 7 to 9 cats to play church.
Damn, Church was
with
fantastic.
Each
in this.
cat serving a unique role, such as the snarler, the cuddler, and the jumper.
Another example of why a dog is just leaps and bounds better than a cat.
Dude, this movie made me want a fucking cat all over.
Are you
yeah,
serious?
I literally
Yes.
want that cat. I want church. I want
like
a gray
this and
cat,
Alien, bro.
beautiful
I'm like, give
gray
me that
cat with
fucking
like
cat.
bright yellow eyes.
This cat was fantastic. So was there a cat that played dead? Because when we got to that part, that cat was on point.
You talking about
I
the
was
one
like,
that was like sedated?
Yeah.
He was
I was
actually
either that's
he was
really a sedated
actually
cat.
fucking sedated.
Okay.
By
I was
a
like, either
vet.
that's a sedated
That was
cat
a
or
real
this is the
fucking
most-
cat that was under
trained cat
under
I've
the
ever seen.
influence of Trank. Yeah, he was done. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up what I have.
And with that, fellas, let's get into the meat of Pet Sematary.
The person you put up there ain't the person that comes back. It may look like that person, but it ain't that person. Because whatever lives in the ground beyond the pet cemetery ain't human at all.
We begin with a semi-truck blowing by a country home recently purchased by the Creeds. The family arrives and takes in the new digs with their trusty cat Church. And let us go ahead and dump the family. Lewis Creed, played by Dale Midkiff, who was in Elvis and Me and The Crow Salvation, starring Kristen Dunst.
Dude, this is
Nah,
like
he was
scraping
in,
the bottom of the shit barrel.
It's
This
pretty
guy was
bad,
in a
right?
movie from 2000 you may have heard of
Fucking
called
Airbud.
Airbud World Pup.
What is that?
That's like World Cup, but it's World
Soccer
Pup.
Airbud, not football.
It's the golden
Airbud,
retriever,
and
motherfucker, who
not-
plays soccer.
I mean, I
dude.
know
He knows what Airbud is. Don't even fucking play.
I mean, like,
Quit
which,
fronting, bro.
like, is that Airbud 6? You know, I don't know which
I
number
think it
it
was
is.
3 at this point.
Okay.
Don't act like you don't have the box set Blu-rays right there on that shelf
I
behind you.
think
right
I've
now.
only seen the first one, to be honest with you.
You know how excited they were to cast the guy from Pet Cemetery? In that
Exactly,
fucking
and they
movie? You
put
know,
World
was, like,
Pup in the
it was
title,
crazy
dog.
over that.
World Pup. That's fucking great.
We got that Pet Cemetery, dude.
But this
I
guy,
was shocked. I was shocked at how like sparse his
well,
filmography
I
was.
was I was gonna say the dude's got that kind of face that you see in Hollywood. It's like I should recognize him from something.
Yeah.
But
I
looking over his
assumed I'd seen him
IMDb,
all
it's like
throughout
I don't
the
recognize
90s.
him from jack shit.
Nothing.
So if the audience wonders how we're so smart with these horror films,
What?
We just dive into IMDb, and then under the actors, there's a portion that says trivia. And under Mr. Dale's trivia on IMDb, this note popped up. He has a nephew named Alex.
Oh, okay.
All right. This is a happening fella.
Yeah, just
I don't
go
know if that's
read
gonna pop up
IMDb.
on
You could
trivia.
also do this if you'd like. It'd be really easy. It's not hard.
I abstained from IMDb trivia personally.
Dude, but before we hop into like the rest of the family members, can we talk a little bit more about like the opening scene?
Oh, I was gonna say World Pup. I was like, you really go like through the plot
I think
summary
we've
of
talked
that?
enough about World Pup. We can do a separate episode on that, like a side episode. We can do a side episode on like the Air Bud movies where we review each Air Bud movie.
Yes, Patreon.
But no, the actual Pet Cemetery like itself, like it shows you a bunch of like the burial plots and the makeshift crosses and makeshift tombstones,
Headstones, yeah.
and then you have the disembodied voices of the children talking about their animals and stuff. It like sets, as a kid, I didn't remember this scene at all or this opening at all, but it was super like it made me feel very uneasy about this movie. Like kids are already like generally creepy, right?
Right,
Like,
especially
kids
in
are
horror
creepy.
movies.
And then you see this like entire graveyard made by children. Like everything's made by kids.
Yeah, I think the fact that it highlights that from the get-go kind of sets the atmosphere and the tone more than I, of course, remembered watching it as a kid. Like, I never put together the fact that it was misspelled because the sign is written by
I
children.
fucking spell
until somebody-
cemetery like this all the time because of
until
this
somebody
movie.
asked me about it. Now, why is it misspelled? I'm like, oh, it's because it's written by children. Like, I never even put that together until just now.
Like I butcher that word. If I was on like the fucking spelling bee on TV, they would laugh me off stage.
Every time you Google this, it's like trying to correct me. I'm like, no, I need to spell it wrong to spell it correctly. But yeah, kids and death, that's just two things you don't ever want to see mixed. And this movie
Oh, yeah.
does that to the max.
Full throttle. Next up, we have Rachel Creed, played by Denise Crosby, who was in Dolly Dearest and Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah, apparently her Star Trek work is a big deal. I'm not a hardcore Trekkie, but yeah, apparently she did a lot of work in The Next Generation. That's the Picard one, right?
Sir Patrick
Jean-Luc
Stewart.
Picard. Sir
And even-
Patty, yeah.
An even bigger deal is the fact that she was in Deep Impact.
Boo.
Was she in Deep Impact?
Yeah, she was like she was the blonde lady.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking role.
Well, there we go.
The white lady with blonde hair? I do recall her.
I think
Shot.
she was like a reporter or some shit. She would be a reporter or something in that movie.
Next up.
How far into this, before we get off her real quick, how far into this did you make it before you were annoyed with her?
Very
Immediately.
Not to be sexist, but damn,
She's got
dude.
this weird like 80s mom vibe thing going on.
I can't tell what the hell her problem was the whole fucking movie.
So,
She was irritating.
I didn't like her up until she tells the story about Zelda. And then it definitely takes her character and literally opens it up like a flower. Because you kind of understand why she has her reservations about death and everything.
we're going to come back to that when we get to that scene because
Yeah.
I have a different take on that. When I was a kid, I hated this character, and as a grown adult, I hate this character. It's just like how she communicates with her entire family. She's just always bitching.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I don't really understand her motivations. Even knowing what I know now, I'm like, okay, that's how was that 30 years ago? You have your own children and a husband now. Like, get your shit together, lady.
Next up is Ellie Creed, played by Blaze Birdhall, and I got nothing. So
0 for me there. I looked.
Zero. But she
Poor
did
Blaze.
split time in the role with her actual twin, Bo Birdall.
Bo and Blaze.
But in terms of like their actual credits, it's a no for me, dog.
That's a cool name.
It's tough. And
Blaze.
last, but certainly not least, is Gage Creed, played by Miko Hughes. How you say it, Miko?
Miko.
Miko Hughes, who was in Spawn, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten motherfucking cop. He played Joseph.
Boys have a penis. Girls have
Yes,
a
have
vagina.
vagina. Like the most precocious little boy in the history of the world, I swear to God.
And the fat
This kid
kid
never
spits
needed to
out
grow
fucking
up.
sandwich on somebody. Put your fat
Exactly.
finger down!
I was talking about this actor in the YouTube comments for our trailer reaction to it, about how it's a face I never wanted to see grow up, so I refuse to look at adult pictures of this man.
I couldn't tell
Like
you
the,
if I've seen
the
him.
cutest 4-year-old I could imagine.
Yeah,
you know.
this kid is adorable.
He was also in Apollo 13 and a movie from 1997 called Zeus and Roxanne. You remember that one, Joy?
Nope.
Steve Guttenberg, the dolphin and the
God,
dog
Steve
are like best
fucking
friends.
Gutenberg. That guy.
It's a dolphin and a dog.
What a run.
Zeus and Roxanne.
Mahoney!
It was a weird time. Weird time.
What was that movie where he like works in a camp or something?
Yeah, it's my police
It's like
academy where they
Christy
get
Alley.
It Takes Two
Was it Takes Two?
with the Olsen twins.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah.
I remember like a sister or somebody making us watch that shit all the time.
Yeah, Miko, adorable. This has got to be like S tier cute kid performances.
Well, Miko was the youngest guest to be interviewed by Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. Hughes was 4 years old on February 20th, 1991, 2 days before his 5th birthday.
That's nuts, man. Imagine peaking at 4 years old.
That's the
How
thing.
do
He's
you-
still
you
he's
have
still
no
putting in
fucking
work,
memory of
man.
it.
He's still putting in work.
How do you talk to
He
Johnny
probably
Carson at
is.
4?
If anybody could, it'd be this fucking kid. Have you ever seen Kindergarten Cop? Yeah, I could talk to that kid all day.
I've seen it a long
Telling
time.
me shit I didn't know. But imagine like peaking like that early, and you can't. There's no way he can even remember it at this age. You know,
Well, you can watch it.
he can watch it, yeah, but he can't. He can't remember experiencing that.
All right, let's hop back into this film. Ellie falls out of a tire swing as Gage is mesmerized by those shiny semi-trucks blowing by the house. The
Gage
Creeds,
love trucks.
doesn't every kid? The Creeds get to meet their new neighbor from across the street, Judd Crandall, who saves Gage from a splattery death and informs the family about the road.
Don't my friend, not on that road.
Not on that road now.
Not on
That
that road.
road.
Now we.
You want to watch out for that road. Them damn trucks go back and forth all day and most of the
Let's
night.
see.
That road
See who
there.
can get the road correctly here. We're gonna do it 100 times a piece and just see who can bang it. So what do we know about Mr. Judd Crandall, boys?
That's Herman Munster.
Fred
That's
Gwynn.
Herman. Fred Gwynn. Herman Munster from the 64 to 66 television series The Munsters.
I know him.
Did you guys watch the Rob Zombie movie?
Oh, I tried.
Fuck no.
Oh, you tried? Who was Herman in that?
The guy from the Geico commercial with the caveman.
What?
The guy who played the
caveman actor?
caveman from the Geico commercial.
Who is
Oh,
that?
that was him. He was Buzz Lightyear in the animated series. What is that dude's name?
What in the hell? These
He used to be
random
on
ass
Fox.
pools.
He took over the Fox pregame football after
Frank Caliendo?
Frank Caliendo left.
What the fuck did Frank Caliendo do to get fired? He was always funny.
What is Frank doing right now?
This is quite a tangent.
He's fucking
should've
hoping,
been
he's
Herman Munster in
fucking
the
banking
new
on Mad TV coming back. He's fucking
He
putting
should
all
have
his
been
eggs
the
in
new
that
Herman
basket.
Munster, dog. I guess once John Madden kind of
He said if
passed
Pete
away, he kinda
Davidson
lost.
he said if Pete Davidson keeps fucking up, then the SNL is gonna fucking tank, and then Mad TV's coming back with the vengeance. Him
I
and
miss
Bobby
Mad
Lee.
TV.
Man, I hope so.
What were we talking
We'll
about?
say so.
So the caveman is like an actor? I didn't know that. I thought it was just the caveman guy.
You know, but damn, he's in a commercial. I mean, that's acting job.
He does the
I thought
Barefoot
like that
Wine
was his
commercials
thing.
too.
Bro, y'all got my mind racked right now.
Can't wait for the audience to chime in on this portion of the show.
I got newborn brain. I cannot think this hard.
Yeah, and then his old lady played the fucking
This
lady.
old lady, who are we talking about now?
Somebody old lady.
Sarah Moon Zombie, whatever her name is, Sally Moon Zombie.
Rob Zombie's wife, okay.
Yeah,
We're back.
yeah, she
Gotcha, okay.
she plays like the female role of the Munsters.
She's
Dude, I
the
was
mom.
an Addams Family guy. You know, I'm all about
Morticia, yeah.
I
I'm gonna
ain't
say
really.
Morticia.
I remember our grandparents loving the Munsters. That was all about it. I'm all the time making fun of the dude I work with's mom. Every time she gets her hair dyed, I call her Eddie Munster.
Does she look like Eddie Munster?
Fucking Eddie Munster with that black ass hair.
Got
a
her.
Spike. What do we think about Judd in this? He's a hell of a side character.
Well,
Oh, he literally like steals every scene he's in.
apparently, I learned a lot about Fred doing this. First of all, he's 6'5" and graduated from Harvard University in 1951.
Big boy. Smart boy.
Didn't John
And-
Lithgow graduate Harvard? I'm just saying,
Lord
like he
Farquaad?
plays this motherfucker. He plays this role
Lord
in the
Farquaad.
fucking remake. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool.
The guy from
that-
Shrek, right? Or you talking about the preacher from Footloose?
I'm talking about fucking Harry and the Hendersons, bitch. Why the fuck is everybody saying Lord Farquaad?
Oh shit!
And, so
Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
He had black hair at this time of his life, and he had to constantly get his hair dyed white for this movie.
Oh, his hair is fantastic in this movie. I wrote a note there. Old man hair, on point, dude.
I guess you could say it's fake, but it's his real hair. And the man hated, I read this so many times, hated being called Herman Munster, and even turned down a role when the director referred to him as Herman.
He's got a face that is not conducive to a lot of parts.
You know who he looks like?
Ron Perlman.
He looks like Frankenstein. Dog.
No, man. You remember when fucking Bruce
Frankenstein's
Campbell
monster.
stuck his face in that goddamn book?
Yep, he gets all
It
elongated.
sucked,
And shit.
it sucked his fucking chin.
It's an Army of Darkness. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks just like the Herman Munster guy.
he's got a face, man. He's a great
Fred
actor.
Gwynn,
Great
excuse me.
voice.
Don't mean
Great
to
voice.
disrespect.
And apparently he would show up and just be as like nice as humanly possible to the cast. And everybody said when he put on those overalls, it was like he was in character.
Turns like Eeyore if Eeyore was like a alcoholic old man.
Yes, if he was
On
that.
that road over there, Winnie the Pooh. He's sad as fuck in this movie.
Everybody knows he's dead because of that road.
That road. You can't just leave that road alone.
Later that evening, Lewis has a beer with Judd, and he tells the good doctor to get his cat Church fixed, or else it will fall victim to the road and be placed in the pet cemetery. Quite a lesson from Judd.
Beautiful cat, man. Can't believe he's shitting on the cat, Hootie.
I just don't like cats. I'm sorry. I'm
A good looking cat, bro.
a dog man.
Good looking cat. That's all I'm gonna say.
A few
Maybe
days.
want a cat.
A few days later, Judd takes the entire family on a little field trip down the path at the end of the property to show them the dozens of graves killed by the road. And I pause here, fellas, to ask you, how are there this many graves with only 2 visible houses?
It's thanks to that road, you know. That road just eats the fucking animals, bro.
It's like, where are these
According
other
to
houses
Judd,
coming
this,
from?
this graveyard goes back to when he was a kid.
Like 60 years or something.
Yeah,
So-
he said like he buried his dog Spot down there.
It's just the dead pets of those 2 houses past like 60 days.
Just quit getting fucking pets at that point, you know. And you losing one like every 2 years.
Hey, you blaming the pets and the homeowners? Won't they put a fucking speed or a stop sign or something?
Or a fence.
These motherfuckers coming through, I think they said it was like a paper mill or a lumber yard or something. They're going like 80 miles an hour down these roads, and they're not. It's not a freeway. It's not a highway. It's literally a tight 2-lane road.
Yeah, it's a country back road. Like, it's kind of comical how fast these fucking trucks are going up and down this road.
Like
man.
18-wheelers, like massive trucks.
They got a long way to go and a short time to get there, boys.
I feel like if I lived here, though, I'd fuck with them. I'm going to do something to make them
I put
like,
down spike
proceed with
strips. Fuck
caution.
'em.
They threw down a pipe.
Like a
Fucking
bear
trip.
carcass in the fucking
I'd
road.
fucking blow them damn tires out. I'd teach them. You're going to slow the fuck down.
Or just shoot BB guns every time they drove by. Just ping them in the side.
Just throw a hand grenade.
Okay. Get up
I'd
the
have
RPG.
fucking claymores set up strategically. You motherfuckers better slow down. It's be like that movie Speed. If you,
How's
it's
Joey
the
laying on his
opposite.
roof in a fucking ghillie suit, with a sniper rifle?
I was thinking about a bunch of wildlife decoys, and Joey's throwing grenades at
I
moving
said it.
vehicles.
I was trying to like make the tires get a little bumpy.
Judd tells Rachel that kids have to learn about death sometimes, and then proceeds to tell Ellie that cemeteries are for the dead to speak and rest. And one thing Judd loves, boys, is talking about death.
Yeah, he does. He's sad as fuck, dude. I did like his speech though about how it's about rest. I thought that was kind of comforting.
Yeah, Judd definitely has like a good soul, but he goes out of his fucking way to set up this whole movie and what's going to transpire over the next hour.
Yeah, it's all kind of Judd's fault at the end of the day.
And he admits it eventually, like, yeah, it is my fault. Like, I should
You
have done
definitely want to do this. And he's like, I know you're not thinking about doing this.
He's very excited about
Calls
these
him at 2
new
o'clock in the morning.
people.
You're not dreaming about doing it, are you?
If you
All
go
right,
down
Jed,
there,
let's
this
do
will
it.
happen right here. If you do this and you do that, it'll happen.
He, he
but don't
gives
do
them
it,
a
okay?
personal tour to go down there. I'm like, dude, stay the fuck across the road.
It's a
I'm
little
not
field
taking
trip.
my kids to the cemetery.
Ellie becomes paranoid that her cat Church is going to die in the road and tells her parents that she doesn't want him to get his nuts cut off. But Lewis has to get it done. Later that night, Dr. Creed is woken up by a patient named Victor who died earlier that day. He follows Victor, who is decaying rapidly, into the pet cemetery. Victor shows him another path past Pet Cemetery where the dead walk and the barrier should never be crossed.
Yeah,
Victor's head wound is nice.
it's so
juicy.
fucking sick. You know, it puts me in mind of Jack from American Werewolf in London. How you
Oh,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
that guiding spirit, who's transpired.
I like that character.
This
Victor.
is Victor Pascal, right? Is the character's name?
Oh, yes, Pascal.
Played by Brad Greenquist.
Godinquist, who was an Annabelle creation from 2017.
And gang-related.
Oh, he's in a gang. I didn't know that. Which gang is he in? Is it the Crips, the Bloods?
R.I.P.
Fucking
Tupac.
Bloods, obviously.
He's in the Bills Mafia. Obviously, he's gang related.
Clearly. Rachel takes the kids to her parents for Thanksgiving. And here we are, fellas. We're at Thanksgiving.
What could go wrong?
Leaving Lewis with the unfortunate discovery of Church being hit by that damn road. Judd helps Lewis put the dead cat in a garbage bag, and Lewis just bare hands this dead cat.
That son of a bitch was peeling off the ground, dude. That was gnarly.
When you
He's
think
just
about
peeling
it,
this frozen cat off the ground.
Lewis is he's a doctor, so he handles like gross shit all the time. He's not worried about a dead cat.
So I'm too OCD to be touching a dead animal just barehanded.
We can just get
So
a
we're
fucking
saying here
shovel
that-
or some shit.
You get
You're saying that the
gloves.
doc discovered the cat here, but wasn't it Mr. Herman Munster who brought it to his
Well,
attention?
it
Yeah, Judd called his ass.
So,
Said,
how do
hey,
we
dog,
know?
there's a
Y'all gotta
cat
stop
over here."
blaming Judd.
How do we know Judd didn't set this motherfucker
He
up?
just shot the cat.
Judd fucking
Exactly.
curb stomped that cat.
Exactly, bro.
He said, "Bite the curb, cat," and I'm gonna fucking stomp him.
Judd
guts.
is a raging alcoholic. He's been on loan this whole time.
just likes
He's
to
been
go
waiting
How's
for
he a
some
raging
neighbors.
alcoholic? He has a Budweiser on the porch every now and then.
He has a 6-pack every night, dog.
You know,
Every
he was
now and
fucking
then.
sitting there. He was sitting there calling that cat over there, just hoping to get hit by a truck.
He's been begging for
Cheers.
new neighbors. He talked about how long the
Cheers.
house was empty. He wants some fucking drama, and he's instigating it right here, right now.
That is a good point. It is a very nice house to be sitting there that long without tenants.
And he's talking about all these dead animals we see here. How do we know Judd's not the one fucking executing? Like every family that comes over there, he just kills their cat immediately.
He's got a fucking piano wire, and he just fucking sneaks up behind him.
I want to watch out for that road.
The soil is sour.
Judd convinces Lewis to take Church past the pet cemetery, over a pile of brush, through a hiking trail, up the side of a mountain, and eventually, my God, eventually leading to the top of a mountain. Judd is taking...
Mac Indian Burial Grounds.
Boom.
The Micmacs.
Beautiful. Such a cool set piece. Oh, I thought it was gorgeous.
Judd is
It
taking
was a
him
cool view.
to said grounds, and Lewis has to dig his own hole for Church by himself, while Judd smokes cigs and watches from afar. And did you two pick up on the fact that this man can light a match with his hand?
On his fingernail, right? He just
Yeah, that was
flicks it like a
badass.
balls.
I'd help you, but you gotta do it yourself. Each bears his
One gotta
own.
bury his own. It takes this dude all day to bury this fucking cat,
It
too.
does take a long time.
The soul of a man's
Hours.
heart, Lois, is stonier. Like the soul up there in the old Micmac burial ground. This dude's fucking voice is so good.
That's like a South Park character.
I want him to read every book that I've ever wanted to read, and just like when I hear him, just read it to me.
Well, that's what AI's for.
Yeah, this is true. I'm sure it's probably an app for that now, unfortunately. But I thought as soon as they crossed the brush, we would be in the burial ground.
You
I didn't
thought
expect
wrong.
him to go to a fucking hike,
I had
dude.
to climb a mountain.
It was like halfway there at some point. I'm like, do I really want to fucking do this?
Just a little bit further now.
Just right over this here mountain. This mountain range, off the fucking Misty Mountains. Yeah. God damn, it's Gollum up in this bitch.
A few days later, Lewis finds Church in the basement, fully brought back to life. Church scratches him across the face. Lewis
Dude,
goes...
the scene of Church like hissing,
He
just out
scared
of
the fuck out of
nowhere
him.
is a genuinely good jump scare. Because you're watching before this, you're watching Doc like He's just doing
He's
like
doing laundry or some shit.
super. No, he's raking leaves, like some of the most mundane shit you can ever do. He's just going back in the house, and as soon as he does, bang, there's the fucking cat.
Yeah, we've all been there before.
Because it's almost like at this point you forgot he had done that, or he had forgotten he'd done that.
Well, he probably did it thinking that it's just burying a cat, and it's just is what it is.
Oh, Judd's full of shit. I'm just write this off as he killed the cat. Obviously, we all know that. So
Write it off as
he just got off on watching me bury it.
a hiking trip with my old pal Judd. Lewis goes to speak with Judd, who tells him the story of his dog Spot over a few more of those trusty beers. Spot came back all right, but it was never the same dog. He wanted Ellie to still have her favorite cat. See? Judd's a good guy.
It's been 60 plus years since Spot. I don't think Judd was holding on to the fact he wanted Ellie to have her cat this fucking long. This dude's got some issues.
You just ragging on the
I think
man.
this whole thing was just Judd wanting to plant a seed in Lewis's head, knowing, hey, if you want to bury something else up here, you can do it.
Yeah.
telling me that you knew his kid was going to die.
Just
Dance with the devil in the
case,
pale
you never
moonlight.
know.
You know?
Lewis asks Judd if a person had ever been buried up there, and Judd freaks out and says, "Who would ever do such a thing?" The family
Fucking
comes home.
Judd would.
Foreshadowing? Question mark.
The family
I mean,
comes
fucking
home.
Munster would.
Well, he doesn't like that.
I'm just saying.
The family comes home from the Thanksgiving vacation. Ellie tells her parents that church smells bad, and she hates it. Poor cat.
Church smells like an asshole, Dad.
The family maid, I think that's what she was, kills herself due to chronic stomach pain. And then Stephen King plays a priest.
Yeah, I think it comes out she had like stomach cancer or something. Like they allude to it during the movie.
So what the hell is that all about?
Like what part? What do you mean? Like this
Why
actual
is that
character
in here?
having stomach cancer?
Yeah. Why is the character in here at all?
I had the same question.
I think it is part. I think it just shows that this family is very toxic, and people just
That he
can't
throws
stand
this woman to kill herself?
People and animals can't stand to be alive around the Creed family.
Rachel fucking hates everybody. I took it to like maybe Judd had resurrected this woman at some point. Like she died of stomach cancer before and he brought her back. I'm sure there's probably more in the book that we don't know, but I was wondering if it was something along those lines.
Sounds like I'm going to go to the public library soon.
Hey, boy. Audiobook. Let's go.
Oh, it was read by Stephen
These-
King.
Did we get the rat in the bath scene yet?
I think we just skipped over it, but at the same
That was a fuck no scene for me right there,
I
dog.
fucking love that shit. It was so good.
Laying here in the bath, rubbing one out, gooning, and then there's a damn big ass hairy fucking rat floating in there with me.
Dude, he fucking wasn't just floating in there. His church said from downtown, motherfucker hit him with a 3-ball, hit him with a Steph Curry.
fucking splash, brother.
Rat, right?
The
It's
third
fucking
Splash
literally,
Brother.
literally the fucking Splash Bros. Fucking hit him in the chest with it. Motherfucker started freaking out.
It was trying
Oh shit!
It makes me like church all the more because it's like he's gonna bring me treats or something.
I would have strangled his ass in that moment.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with rats.
Rachel explains the trauma of her older sister suffering from spinal meningitis to Lewis and how the family left her alone in the house when she died. Rachel claims that she was laughing about her sister's death.
That's like it's a super fucked up situation the way she describes it. Like let's say you have an older sister and you're just tasked with taking care of her while your family like convorts and goes out to parties and shit. Like you're responsible for feeding, bathing, clothing. Yeah, it's a lot to put on
That's
a
too
kid.
much to put on a kid. Yeah.
So me not liking Rachel initially, like hearing this story, definitely bought her some leeway.
That's where I'm there with you. I feel bad for her. But how long have these two been married to where this is the first time Lewis is hearing
Yeah.
about this?
We have 2 children at this point. You think we could have talked about this, I don't know, 20 years ago when we first met each other? I don't know.
The
I
family,
don't
is
know if I'll
odd.
go around talking about the fucking sister I was happy to see die.
Somebody you
I don't think I
married,
make that a
though?
priority to tell somebody about that. That's like trauma, you know? You repress that. You suppress that.
I mean, it's a shitty feeling, and I understand kind of where she's coming from, where you see someone you care about that frightens you, and you kind of just don't want to deal anymore. Like, you want to check
That's
out.
the thing. I don't think she cared about her. I think it was one of those things of like she's happy she died.
I think she's at that, but she was at that age at the time where I don't think she was truly capable.
Dude, if your
of-
ass was laid up in the
caring.
bed and I'm having to spoon feed you fucking pea soup, and have you lick the spoon out of my
Yeah,
lick my fingers.
if you did that now as an adult, you would say,
That's
I love
rough,
him. That's my
bro.
brother. But if you were 10 years
That's
old,
fucking rough.
I'm sure you'd be terrified and be like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. Like, why
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
this-
don't you have a nurse? Why don't you get fucking Marsha, whoever his ass name is here?
Product of that adolescent mindset. But I'm saying she's a fucking adult woman with children. Get your shit together. I'm with Hootie on this.
And we've come here, boys. The picnic. The family enjoys a picnic
time.
with Judd. And Lewis shows Gage how to fly a kite. They take their
right
eyes...
next to a road.
Well, the
road.
The road. They take their eyes off the little guy who ends up being run over by yet another shiny semi-truck on the road.
Yeah, so this is the seeds for Maximum Overdrive. That's what I was asking here. Is this where he saw how monstrous trucks could be? And is that Joey from Friday the 13th driving the fucking truck? The
Dude,
truck
he
driver.
was vibing so hard. I think he was listening to the Ramones. But he was
just needed a
vibing
chocolate
so
bar smeared
fucking
over his
hard.
face, and it would have been that same fucking dude, I swear.
At the funeral, Rachel's dad, Erwin, attacks Lewis, yelling at him that this was his fault and he ruined his daughter's life. Good guy.
Dirty sumbitch. So this is the same guy who abandoned his daughter to his other daughter, Zelda, correct?
Oh, yes, correct.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of a cool highlight here because we had this scene before where they highlighted how Zelda should not be left unattended, right? Like that was the agreement that Rachel and Lewis came to. The immediate next scene, Gage is left unattended. And that's why his little ass goes wandering into the road.
That's the thing. They turn away for what? Maybe 5 seconds at most. And this motherfucker
goes-
is bolting for the road. Got the
He
death
goes
wish.
full turn around from the kid. You don't do that.
Oh yeah, he's
Come on,
terrible. He's a terrible father. He's a terrible
He
parent.
should know better than this. I don't know if it's just bad blocking or how it was set up, but I was like, this would never fucking happen.
Dude, the cinematography here, like watching, it's angled from the road, and you're watching as Gage is running towards the road, and his father's chasing behind him, and he trips and falls. This shit looks so good.
It's horrible.
Like a lot
This
of
is,
that, a lot of the
painful.
like the normal check mark stuff in this movie is understated, but it definitely adds to it for sure.
Yeah, this is every parent's worst fear. Scary to watch. It's probably the most memorable instance I think of a small child getting destroyed that I can remember in the movies I watched as a kid. So definitely scary.
Dude, and not to mention what he does to the truck. The truck fucking flips.
Oh,
The
he
truck
flips it like the Dark Knight.
Yeah, it flips, and I think the damn driver's dead too. Like, there's so many people dead.
Oh,
in this
fuck that
thing.
driver. He deserved to die at this point.
He's driving. He's doing his job. He can't help this
Bruh,
little kid is running out
The
there.
brakes
brakes
were
were
chasing
never
kites.
applied. He never applied the brakes.
Well,
There's
You never had
here's
the
the
brakes
thing. There's
engaged.
there's no applying brakes in this situation. You're carrying around like 20,000 pounds of shit.
There's no way he was going the speed
There's
limit
no
then.
brake.
Either way, fuck this guy.
I don't mean to be mean when I say this. If a truck traveling at that speed, carrying that much weight, hits a small child, the child would have
Fucking
been like
eviscerated.
vaporized.
Evaporated.
You're
He
like the
just becomes
fucking, you're
dust.
like the goddamn alien death beam from War of the Worlds. This
He gets
motherfucker
snapped
would
out
be
by fucking
anything.
Thanos.
Yet this child is 100% still together.
Here's the thing. All right, inevitably, we all understand what's about to happen. He's about to be taken to the fucking pet cemetery and revived, or the Indian burial grounds. He looks just as good coming out of the Indian burial grounds as he did
He
going
looks sharper
in.
coming out.
Like
Sharper.
he's got a Harry Potter scar on his forehead, and that's it.
That's
His
all.
hair's like fucking slicked back. He looks good.
That evening,
P.S. It's a tough scene.
That evening, Judd tells Lewis the story of a local boy named Timmy, whose father buried him in the native burial grounds. The bottom line is, boys, sometimes dead is better.
This is the only scene I thought was a little goofy.
You like
Watching
Timmy?
Timmy stumbling around. I thought he was a little goofy.
That was like some George Romero shit, like him
Yeah.
sitting there like pulling his face off.
Yeah, it felt like a different movie, I think.
Townsfolk saw Timmy all over town. He was an abomination. Judd and his fellow townfolk burned down Timmy's house with his father inside. So, Judd's...
I like how Judd, like, he opens the door. It's clearly like another actor portraying a younger version of our character here. But we're still using his voice. Like, the guy opens the door to let people in there, and he backs away. He's just like, we shouldn't be doing this.
Where he looks in
He
there
was
and
the
he
first one
sees
in
the
there.
zombies, man. He don't want to go into no fucking zombies.
He was the first one in, though. He was like, I'm just going to backstep here.
Rachel takes Ellie back to her parents' house, leaving Lewis all alone once again. And you know what that means. Time to rebury that body at Pet Sematary, boys.
Oh, yeah. It's going
Man,
down.
this whole sequence here where he's like digging the body up or digging up the casket, and the police drive by, and he hides in the hole, and he realizes, hey, I hid from the police, and he's so happy about it. Oh my god!
Oh, he's delusional
The
at that
fucking
point.
face, man. I was almost expecting him like a cartoon or some shit, like when he hit the casket with the shovel, being like, "Bingo!"
Got it.
or just fucking yelling, "Yahtzee!"
Yahtzee.
He fucking says when he's digging him up, "I'm gonna bust you out, son."
I've got you, little buddy. This was fucking hard to watch, dude. I couldn't imagine like cradling his son like that. It's horrible.
It is pretty rough to watch. Rachel decides she has to come back home due to a native ghost haunting Ellie. On her flight home, Rachel has a dream about her sister who warns her that Gage and herself will get her. Very effective dream sequence.
We're coming for you.
So Ellie, throughout the movie, we haven't really talked too much about her, and for good reason. She's kind of forgettable. She has like these dreams, premonitions, and visions, like throughout the entire movie, alluding to future events that do come to pass, like the death of Church, the issue with the Pax Cow. It talks about Pax Cow, the actual like ghost and stuff. And we know from other Stephen King movies, like The Shine from The Shining, like the ability to have like telepathy and stuff like that, and visions. Like it's prevalent throughout in different works, like his different books, like connected into like one universe. So do you think Elliot has like The Shine?
Yeah, she definitely got a taste of it. And I think, yeah, Stephen King, he would probably tell you like all these towns are connected anyway.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, there's a shared universe here. So there's people that exist in his world, his literary world that
Yeah, like
goes
what
like to
John
the supernatural.
Coffey from Green Mile,
Exactly.
Carrie,
Yeah, Danny Torrance.
Duddits. Duddits got the fucking shine, brother.
All right, we're gonna leave Duddits out of the.
I mean, he got the shine, though.
Yeah.
You can't
Okay.
take away his shine.
Who was Duddits?
Okay. From Dreamcatcher, starring Thomas Jane.
Yet
Go ahead
again.
and drop that. Just go ahead and forget that again, please.
And didn't
I don't want Joy to bring it up again.
Well, you read the It book or whatever. Like
Yes.
they had like a ritual thing in that movie
Should the ritual of should.
where they were like telepathically communicating, right?
Yeah, it was like tied into some. He does a lot of the Native American spiritual world, like tapping into the afterlife and interacting with ghosts and things like that. Which a part of this movie apparently, or I guess maybe it's tied more into the book, but kind of like the it factor, if you will, of what's missing from the movie. Like how's this reanimation occurring? Is a creature, a Native American folktale called the Wendigo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's like a haunting spirit.
I've
Apparently,
heard of
It's,
Winnebago.
not the
Okay.
Winnebago from Breaking Bad, but the Wendigo. Check it out.
Very
It's a Native
very
American
popular
creature.
around Appalachia. You hear about
Yeah.
the Wendigos a lot in Appalachia.
Yeah, he definitely likes his horror, but he likes the supernatural too.
Yeah, I guess you like to tie it back to like real world, or not even like just real world superstitions and real world like urban legends and
Yeah, he's good at blending. He's a great blender.
mythology and stuff.
Gage, back from the dead, pays a visit to Judd's place. Gage plays with the old man before using a scalpel to slice his Achilles tendon. and
Zombie
feast
Gage
on his
went
foot.
right for his dad's scalpel, right for it. Lily walked right by his dad. Could have fucking sliced and diced his dad up if he wanted to, but
He
didn't.
likes his dad. Well, his dad buried him,
He's
so
going
they
to
have
work,
that
man.
connection that you
Yeah,
talked
his
about.
motivations when he's resurrected is kind of confusing. How does he know who he wants to target?
Well, I think at this point, like Judd talks about it a little bit earlier that he feels responsible for Gage's death. So maybe it's like a sort of a vengeance thing. But when they're playing like their sadistic game of hide and seek, Judd whips out a fucking 4-inch buck knife. Motherfucker says,
Come here,
Gage, come on out now. I bought you something. he's got him a fucking knife. He's gonna stab his little ass.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked.
I loved it. But yeah, this is the scene here, like from my youth, that has always stuck with me. The slicing of Judd's Achilles and Gage with that look on his face and the sounds he's making and just fucking up this old man's world, like slicing his mouth and biting his neck and shit like that. Oh,
The throat bite is pretty fucking like that's because that little actor,
so good, man.
he was directed to do
Had
that.
to do that,
He's
yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
on Herman Munster's face.
Yeah. Well, he did that, but then they did a cutaway and they come back and it's like a puppet. Like anytime there's like blood involved, they always put a puppet in there because they didn't want to
His little ass
traumatize
was-
this fucker. Well, no,
He
he
had his
was
little
all
head in
for
there.
it. He was all for biting him.
He was rooting around like
He
a
was
newborn on
such a
that damn
good little
thing.
actor.
Is it
man.
bite time?
He was so good.
Yeah, he did great there.
Rachel catches a ride with a trucker who drops her off in front of Judd's place. She goes in to find him, but finds her creepy sister instead. Rachel then sees Gage holding the scalpel, which he proceeds to use on his own mother.
Wait, did she just see him or did she see this motherfucker swagged out?
Why was he dressed like that?
Well, earlier in the
Implications
movie,
here.
and I think there's actually this part of the scene here, there's a painting in the background. And I thought the painting was of Zelda when she was younger.
And healthier, yeah.
And Lily is dressed exactly like Gage is in this moment in the
Yes, that's
painting
true.
with a gray cat at her feet. So I think this is just like a big, it's all coming back around.
Like Zelda has used Gage to
Motherfucker
get her
is wearing
revenge.
a top hat, got a pimp cane, dressed in a purple velvet like nightgown dress type deal, looking
Motherfucker said-
swagged.
Getting on the whole train.
Roll a fatty for this pimp daddy.
Oh, this pimp daddy.
Yeah, it was swagged out. The kid looked good, and him holding a scalpel. I don't know why.
So dope.
It looked so cool to see a little kid walking around with a scalpel like it's nothing. It looked like a real scalpel. I'm sure it probably wasn't. I hope it wasn't, considering this is a 3-year-old at the time.
It could have been a dulled real scalpel. I don't know if it'd be that bad.
Damn, it looked good though.
The next day, Lewis wakes up to find his scalpel missing, and Gage gives him a phone call to come over and play at Judd's place.
Let's play, Daddy. That was
Dude,
a terrifying
this whole
phone
thing
call.
right here is super fucked up. You want me to read it? I got all of it wrote down.
If you would
You
like
would
to.
engage his voice.
I'm at Judd's, Daddy. Will you come over and play with me? First, I played with Judd. Then Mommy came and I played with Mommy. We played, Daddy. We had an awful good time. Now I want to play with you.
And he does that fucking maniacal laugh after it all. Yeah. Spine tingling.
It's tough being a father of a son, thinking about if my son called me speaking like that, how fucking terrifying that would be. He bangs his temple rolling out of bed. I don't know if you noticed that. It looked like it was an
Dude,
accident.
Yeah, he fucking rolled. It's realistic how he rolled out.
The
It's like he
actor
was-
bangs his temple on this table when he gets out of bed at
Yeah,
first.
That had to hurt
like he was
He's
woken
going-
from a dream. It's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
I was like, oh, it looked like he really banged his head pretty fucking hard there.
Lewis proceeds to euthanize Church for reasons that I don't really understand, then goes on to do the same to Gage. Lewis finds the body of Judd, and then his wife Rachel hanging from the attic, and finally is attacked by Gage himself. And this is the
That puppet jumping out of the fucking attic
scene. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
was wild. It scared
He
the
spears
shit out
his
of me.
ass, dog. He goes, pew, straight line. Like no gravity affected him at all.
I
I
got
guess
several
they had
questions.
they had like a fishing line or some shit tied to the puppet.
It was like a fucking zip line. They just were like, pew.
I don't know why the cat had to be the first one to die. The cat's fine. Like, it's just bringing back dead rats.
There's probably a couple reasons. I feel like them showing that sequence was giving the audience an idea
It's
of,
testing it,
hey,
right?
this right here is a sedative, or this right here is something that will put them to sleep and they'll die.
Okay, that tracks.
But it also goes back to him knowing he was responsible for, the church being back and church being evil, and the same thing with his son, because he's going to do the same thing with his son, or attempt to anyway. He's trying to make it right.
Setting things right.
Yeah.
And
He gave him a juicy ass steak too, man. He wasted some prime rib on
Oh.
that dude.
He said it's Thanksgiving for cats.
That's a nice ass steak. It made me hungry.
And then the second note was, are we to believe that Gage tied his own mother up and hung her?
Yeah, I was a little confused on that one too. I wondered if maybe just him attacking her led to her suicide, possibly.
Oh, okay.
Because
Well, I
the
think
Zelda
he
stuff,
actively
like Joey
killed
alluded to, was
her because
there.
we're gonna see like the way she
Yeah,
looks
this is
here in
true.
a little bit. She's
Well.
fucked.
Well, what if he like attacked her into a corner and she just said fuck it and hung herself? Because at that point, all the Zelda guilt was on full display because she saw Zelda in him as being what was attacking her.
This could be just some like example of the power of the Wendigoon or Wendigo or some shit. Who fucking knows, man?
Wendigoon.
Well, the thing is, it's actually a
Wendigo.
famous YouTuber. He's really good. I like that guy. But yeah, Wendigo, like, it's alluded to throughout the movie that the Wendigo is there. Like, you can hear when they're in the pet cemetery and like out in the forest. You can hear
Something
like
bumps.
the crackling
Yeah.
of trees. You can hear like cackling. You can hear like very distinct supernatural noises.
Do you think there's a physical manifestation?
Yeah, it's somewhere out there. It's got to be.
We need more of a budget. We could have seen it.
Lewis is finally able to euthanize Gage with a needle to the neck. Lewis burns down Judd's house.
That was hard.
What?
The way he
fair.
falls
No
over
fair.
and he fucking hits his head, but he
Yeah.
stays in character.
That
Like
was
he
so
literally, the
cute.
actor stays in character as a 3-year-old. It's so good.
Lewis burns down Judd's house, grabs Rachel's body, and you guessed it, for reasons that God knows why, buries her in Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, Gage, she did the whole no fair. As he's walking away, I was like, oh, that's so adorable.
Although the no fair was great.
No fair.
While
Yeah,
all this
these
is
little
playing out at the end
Falls over drunk.
with the burial and stuff, there's like a voiceover by Judd that's really like haunting and really like poignant. The soul of a man's heart is stonier, Lewis. A man grows what he can, then he tends it. 'Cause what you buy is what you own, and what you own always comes home to you. It's so good, man.
It's very
very
well
good.
said. It makes me want to read the book just
Yeah.
because, just knowing that Stephen King wrote the screenplay, you know he's pulling like the best shit out of his book. But I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more going on in the story than we got on screen. So, if anything, it's a testament of just a very solid story from Mr. King.
It's like the best way he can sell his book is to make this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes me want to investigate more.
Later that evening, Rachel, covered in blood, dirt, wearing one shoe, and missing one eye, comes home to Lewis.
Dude, the goo fucking leaking out of her eye when they start making out. Oh, man.
Oh baby,
This
So
scene
you
He's
wanna start
fucking
gooning,
sucking her
right?
face, dude. He's fucking going in.
This scene
He's trying
I
to
was
make
thinking
another.
about
He's
that.
trying to see if he can get her pregnant and have another Gage.
I was hoping they were using chocolate syrup, dog.
Yeah, the two begin to make out, and Rachel stabs him with a kitchen knife. That's what's implied. The end.
Gage carved her fucking eye out of her head
Whew.
and like
Gage is a
carved her
beast.
face up, you know, because there's no way her face deteriorated like that, being in the ground for less than 5 hours.
Was it Gage or was it Zelda?
Well, I think Zelda's just a manifestation by Gage, because we see as soon as she goes, or as soon as Lewis goes in the house, like the house itself visually
All goopy and shit.
transforms and like into
Yeah.
like a
Haunted house.
like something that's been there for like dozens and dozens of years and is just dilapidated, when it's not the case. Like, because it goes back and forth between looking like a normal house to looking like shitty.
Yeah, once he finds her shoe, I think it goes back to
So there's
how
definitely some
Judd's house was.
supernatural stuff at play, changing his perception of the house.
I also appreciated that Doc was playing solitaire when she rolled up. Like he was literally alone in the world. I took the whole scene as pretty much suicide by zombie wife at
Oh,
this point.
yeah, he knew it was coming. Like,
That's all he was doing. At
he
this
tried to
point. Like,
justify, but he knew it was coming.
he was ready to die, I think, after all the stuff with Gage.
And then over
But,
the credits, we get a Ramon song.
I don't want to be buried.
In no pet
Damn, dude.
cemetery.
Literally,
I
dude, as I'm
don't
sitting there and
want to
this shit's
live my
playing
life
over my
again.
credits, I'm like, I was like, how am I singing the words to this song? And I feel like I'd never heard it before, but I knew the fucking words. I just had repressed it that much. It's terrible.
Well, you was vibing with fucking I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
I was just sitting there and I was just like,
something.
I was like, why
was on
the
the
fuck
school
do I
bus
know
singing
these
that shit.
words? I don't want to be buried.
This
It does.
made me,
It is kind of catchy.
this made me appreciate Doken's Dream Warriors like 10 times more. It's like, man,
I
that
know,
band.
right?
What about the Suspiria soundtrack? You appreciate that yet, Hootie?
Skip that.
That thing fucking thumps.
Goblin, baby.
Vinyl right there, baby. I can play it for you whenever you're ready.
Dream Warriors is actually on my gym playlist. I'll be working out listening to Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
Don't wanna dream no more. I'm gonna dream.
Fuck you, Freddy. Yeah, pinch it.
With that, fellas, what piece of memorabilia from Pet Cemetery would you like to own?
This is easy. Give me that scalpel, baby.
Wow.
It could be my Halloween costume next year. I can go as Gage. Get my little Harry Potter scar on my top hat. Let's fucking go.
As much as you was building it up, I thought you were going the other way. It's got to be Church. It's such a beautiful cat.
Can't have church.
You taking the cat?
Brings you gifts of vermin, and it just keeps you company. And the cat would love you to the end of his days. Outside of that, the painting of Rachel's sister Zelda, that thing looked fucking so cool. So creepy, but like so awesome at the same time.
I got so into Judd's character and learning about him. Give me Judd's overalls. I want to go as Judd for Halloween.
Them things have shit stains when he got his Achilles fucked up.
6'5", motherfucker. I know you tall, but goddamn.
Damn, who do you?
We could roll
What
up
the
the
fuck?
pants.
You be dragging them motherfuckers.
You don't have the straps off, just fucking with his gut out. Let's go.
Could you imagine him playing this character like for Halloween, just yelling at kids? Got that role now.
Who the hell is this guy playing? Be a great Halloween costume. You know he's shitting him when he got his damn face cut up, though.
Well, I mean, we can hope for the best.
Shit happens, I guess.
All right, let's bring this thing home. Chris, what'd you think? Pet Sematary.
All right, get these grade books out, boys. Let's do this. I'll start it off. This is a King classic, and this story simply works on the most basic of levels. Few things hit me as hard as Gage getting hit by that truck. Real dad fears leaking out of me watching this one this time around. Here's a little list of things that rock about this movie. The atmosphere is so thick you could cut it with a knife. The movie oozes creepiness from every frame, turning rural Maine into a horror playground. Fred Gwynn, a.k.a. Herman Munster, sorry, Mr. Gwynn, absolutely crushes it as Judd Crandall. His warning, sometimes dead is better, is horror movie gospel at this point. Resurrected Gage is terrifyingly good, imagining an adorable toddler transforming into a murderous demon. Still works on me 30 years later. It also dives deep into grief's dark underbelly, showing how loss can make people do monumentally stupid, horrifying things. It's not to say there aren't a few stumbling blocks. Some sections of the movie do drag, especially with the husband-wife dynamic, and some bits before the supernatural elements really kick into high gear, or a bit meh. Handful of the effects have not aged well and look a bit dated now. Sorry, Gage doll, you are a beautiful boy, but that effect work was tough to see in 4K. Pet Sematary is a horror classic that shows resurrection is way more complicated than we'd ever imagined. Hail to the king, a B+ for Mary Lambert in my class.
Yeah, the third act of the movie is where it like really ramps up. Like the first hour? It kind of has its moments where it's not the most exciting movie. I mean, it has its moments where it is, but that third act is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A crucial bit for me that probably would have fixed that first half hour or first hour is if Lewis did not ask if a person had been buried up there before. Like, once you put that in my mind, I'm just waiting for that to happen, you know?
That's a good point, yeah.
Like, if it was just a natural progression, I'm like, oh, okay, this, like, if I had to guess what was going to happen next, I think I would have been a little bit more excited. But once he puts that into the narrative, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just waiting 45 minutes for that to happen now.
And if you think about it, I wouldn't think you would ask that question.
Exactly. It felt a little like he was reading the book too, you know, or something. Like he wasn't a character in there. He was just like, this is going to happen later, right? Fuck. Kind of took some of the steam out of it. Joey, what'd you think about this, man?
So yeah, a movie from my youth, and sadly one I haven't made a point of revisiting in many, many years. Pet Sematary was always in the periphery of quality horror in my mind. I recall being generally creeped out by its contents as a kid, but never really having the same desire to return to Ludlow, Maine, the same way I did Crystal Lake or Haddonfield or Elm Street as an adult. So after so many years away, it's great to be back. For me, one of the most impressive credits to Pet Sematary is its unique story, an original premise. That's entirely thanks to Stephen King's source material and screenplay and his ability to take a concept we all know, in this case death, and ask us if we could undo it, even at the risk of the person or the pet that comes back not being exactly what we put in the ground. Would you do it? He takes something a lot of us avoid talking about or thinking about because of how it makes you feel and turns it into a conversation. Feat not seen often in horror, both new and old. All the standard check marks are here, a score that's subtle and reserved when it needs to be and haunting at all the right moments. Beautifully framed cinematography, some underrated and underappreciated gore effects, and quality performances abound. However, I'm not overly impressed with Dale Midkiff as Louis Creed. His performance does get better as the movie goes on, but for a large portion, he feels rigid, stiff, wooden. His only saving grace during several of these sequences is his interactions with Fred Gwynn as Judd, who brings vibrance and enthusiasm to a role that could have just as easily been sequestered as a simple exposition character, along with Zelda and Gage. These three characters are some of the most potent and memorable in the entire catalog of Stephen King's horror adaptations. So, yeah, I was too young to really appreciate Pet Sematary as a kid, like with the themes it explores, but as an adult, I can relish both the horror and dramatic elements in their entirety, and I'm grateful to revisit it after so long. 1989's Pet Sematary grades out with a B.
Oh, well, let's continue this love fest. Pet Sematary was my pick, and it is yet another film for some reason or another that was always on TV during my childhood. I've seen this kid get run over countless times, and Judd's accent is, at this point, burned into my mind. This film oozes nostalgia for me, and upon rewatching, I would say for the most part, it holds up. The acting is good enough, with the exception of Judd. Fantastic. And the director did an outstanding job with landscaping this film by really bringing in the main countryside. The effects at the end with Gage clearly being a doll was pretty rough for me, but if it helped with not traumatizing the young actor, it's okay. I understand. Overall, I'm glad I picked this film this week and encourage all of our listeners to give it a rewatch, or if for some reason you haven't watched it yet, please watch it. I give this film a B.
Good choice by you, buddy. All right, folks, moving on to the Mater Meter game. We take a guess at that audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for said film. If we are within 5 points, we get to choose what to watch next. Otherwise, we get a random assignment from the internet. So, since Hootie chose this one, he did not guess. Between me and Joseph, I said it was a 55. He said a 65. The actual audience score, wouldn't you know it, is a 60.
What does that
Double
mean?
victory?
We do like an arm wrestling contest?
Joey looks terrified.
Do arm wrestling. Let's do the arm wrestling.
We're going to do digital arm wrestling across the Discord channel here.
Well, I think we made, like, we've had this happen before. Isn't it like whoever's over, we play the Price is Right rules? Whoever's over gets fucked?
Or we do a tiebreaker, trivia tiebreaker. Everyone loves trivia questions. However, before you shoot your wad, as they say, Mr. Joseph, we can table that discussion because our next episode actually falls on a special day of the year. Second time this year, we're going to experience a Friday the 13th.
Ooh, baby.
So, for
Did
our
we
next
just do one of
assignment-
these?
We just did one, baby.
We did 5. We got past that bump. Now we're about to get.
You might even
fucking-
say
we got to get
Jason
dirty with it.
Lives.
Oh, Tommy comes back,
Yeah.
right?
We're back in Crystal
This
Lake,
is
baby.
adult,
I have no
this is
idea. what
adult
happens in
Tommy
this one.
Jarvis.
Tommy.
So yeah, we got Friday the 13th coming up. So our whoever chooses the next film is going to get pushed off. Looks like it's not going to even be till next year because we got a little Freddy the Krueger coming up after that.
Jeez.
The Dream Warriors.
Warriors.
Holiday
I
season,
don't wanna
baby.
dream no more fucking.
So yeah, we're going to go to 1986 for Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
When does he take Manhattan? Damn it.
8. You got the
8.
New
We're
Blood,
almost
and then
there.
you got Takes Manhattan,
Dude,
and then
We're going to hit 8 next year. That's crazy.
and then you got Jason Goes to Hell.
That's crazy. We're going to hit it
What are we
that
gonna do
soon.
when we run out of Jason movies?
Start over.
Yeah,
Oh, we got to
Back to
pick a
the
new
first one.
franchise. We got to pick a new franchise. What's one that everybody hates?
Saw.
Saw. Damn, there's a lot of those, man.
It's 10 of them.
Go play a fucking game.
Maybe Saw could take over as the Friday the 13th entry going forward. Who knows? We might have a new Friday the 13th movie if we can will it into being once we catch up.
be fucking sick. This is a return to return to glory for the franchise. So you guys are gonna have you guys are gonna be in a treat with Jason Lives.
It's going to be glorifying.
I forget how much Joey loves these movies.
We're going to go to YouTube, check out the trailer for Jason Lives Friday the 13th, Part 6. If you want to check out our YouTube, you can watch along there. Otherwise, we will be back here in a few short moments. All right, yeah, let's take a guess at that Rotten Tomato score, even though it doesn't matter, since this is a mandatory assignment for the three of us. I got no context. I have no idea what that movie's about there. I guarantee that scene's not even in the movie.
I know that apparently Tommy Jarvis is a grown man who is like overpowered in this film.
Oh, he's like Superman?
Yeah.
He can fight back and shit?
Oh yeah, he's standing toe to toe with Jason in this movie.
So this is like a
fucking
Batman
toe-to-toe.
versus Superman situation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. With that in mind, I'm going to say a 45.
Jesus. Fuck. Did you
Going a
just
little
watch
high.
that fucking
I'm going
trailer,
a little high,
bitch?
guys. I'm going a little high.
Motherfucker, you watched the trailer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 and you gave it a higher score.
Oh, Leatherface. That one was terrible, too.
Wasn't that the Excalibur?
He's staring at that water.
The hand coming out. That's right.
The Excalibur
45.
blade.
This is audience, though.
People love Jason, man.
I'm going to do 55.
Wow. Y'all motherfuckers suck.
Wow. Joy's going with 100 still.
Yeah, I'm not getting off this hill. This is the
You
one.
thought I was kidding, huh? 100, bitch.
Yeah, you
So
thought
this
I
is,
was
in your opinion, the best Friday the 13th film.
No, that was 4.
Oh.
So you want to lay 100 out there, Joy?
But I'm still going to say this is 100 because people like this one.
100%. All right. That's his
It's the
fucking
return
guess.
of the fucking guy. It's the return of the man, you know?
And now he's trying to justify it. It's probably pretty fucking close, man. All right, let's see. This is streaming absolutely nowhere, according to Google. So you can rent or buy wherever you choose
Google
to
look
do
for it
those
at your
things.
fucking public library.
I wonder if there's a book adaptation of this one. Maybe we can get Hootie to review that on the next episode.
Hootie can watch it through a fucking Viewmaster or some shit like he does.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
gonna get
appreciate
Laserdisc.
Hootie keeping physical media alive. Thank you for that, Mr. Hootie.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, thank you for listening. Check out horriblefilmschool.com to find links to all our episodes, social channels, and the merch store. As always, you can support us for free in 3 simple ways: rate, review, and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, send us some 30-year-old 6-packs of Budweiser in the glass bottles, if you would. I'm going to send my support to women getting buried in a pet cemetery.
As always, if you're hearing our voices, tell at least one person you know. Spread the love. Spread the campaign that is HBFS. And with that, quick shout out to our merch store. We're going to be doing a Black Friday sale with our partner. So go check that out for all of your Black Friday needs. Get a hat, get a t-shirt, get a pillow. We all love our pillows. And with that, I'm out.
Thanks for all the likes, the subs, the listens, the follows, the downloads. I really appreciate you guys and gals' support, as well as your time and attention. Be sure to join us next time when the man comes around. And Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Class dismissed.